Hey everybody, today is the third day of Ceramics B, and you have a really short assignment for today. So please go grab your notebook, pause the video and go grab your notebook. Thank you. So this is what I want you to write down on the next clean page of your notebook. These are your steps for today. So the first thing you're gonna do is look in your Ziploc baggie, in your swag bag, and find 3 small popsicle sticks. You might have more than 3, and then you also have a big one, but leave the big one, and then just get 3 of the small popsicle sticks. You're also going to get your sandpaper, which looks pale yellow, and it's a circle with a bunch of little circular holes cut in the center of it. That's your sandpaper. And then in your house, look to find a good scissors or a small saw. If you have a small saw, that would be really helpful too, but a scissors should be able to do the job. So what you're doing today is you're taking your 3 popsicle sticks, and on each side of the popsicle stick, you're carving them with the scissors and then sanding them with the sandpaper to create different shapes that we can imprint into the clay. So we're creating the tools today, and we're going to use the tools over the next several days on our next projects. So it's up to you what the designs are. They can be simple, they can be complex. Although what I've learned is when you're using a scissors to cut a popsicle stick, it's really hard to cut a complex shape. You can cut them very simply and then use the sandpaper to sand a more detailed design into them. But it is kind of hard to cut really cleanly. So sandpaper is really going to save you and be able to make your designs a lot better. So once you've cut your designs in your popsicle stick, use the sandpaper to round them, to smooth them so there's not that sharp, jagged edge from where something might have cut. You might find that your popsicle stick cracks a little bit when you cut it, and that's okay as long as nothing falls off. But if something falls off, just take your scissors and cut down below the part that fell off, and then just start over with a new design, or redo that design on the new spot on your popsicle stick. So by the time you're done, you should have 3 popsicle sticks with a different design cut and sanded into each end. And if you want, you can use the rounded end of your popsicle stick as one of your designs, which means you only need to cut and sand 5 designs in the ends of your popsicle sticks, and then 1 can remain the original round edge. So by the end of today, you're going to take a photo of these 3 double-sided design sticks. In my picture, I just did a different design on 6 different sticks, but most of you only have 3 popsicle sticks, so you're going to need to do it double-sided, 1 on each end. So that's the overview. Make sure you've written all these steps in your notebook, please. Pause the video if you haven't yet. Okay, now I'm going to show you a video of what you're going to end up doing with these popsicle sticks. You're not going to do this stuff today, but watching the video might give you more ideas about what kind of designs you might want to carve. So I'm going to play a YouTube video for you. So this is a big popsicle stick. We are using the small popsicle sticks. So this is pretty much the simplest design you could cut on a popsicle stick, which is just a V-shaped cut. But you can see when you print it into the clay repeatedly, it does make a pretty cool design. And depending on how you stamp it into the clay, you get different sorts of designs. So not only am I asking you to be creative with the kind of designs you make on the popsicle sticks, I'm also asking you to be creative with how you use those designs. And I love this trick. So the artist is doubling up their design by pushing just the tip of the tool to create kind of an echo of that V-shaped design. So I thought that's pretty clever. So this is a variation of that V-shaped design, except there's a tiny V in the center of it. So if you want to do a V-shaped cut and then take your sandpaper and sand that little tiny V-shaped cut at the end of the big V-shaped cut, that's a great way to add that tiny little detail. Let the sandpaper do it for you. This is the same kind of design, except it's rounded on the edge, and that gives you a different kind of look. We're going to skip the wood grain. So this is along the lines of what we're going to start tomorrow. We're just going to create some sample tiles. We're going to cut out some circles, big circles or little circles. You can turn them into magnets or coasters if you want, but it's more just to play around with the tools that you've made. So I'm going to encourage you to use other tools too, other than the popsicle sticks. So this guy is using a pen and just pressing the pen in different ways into the clay. And you can use other things like screwdrivers or the tip of a ruler or the tip of a paper clip. So there's lots of different things you can use. But on these sample tiles, starting tomorrow, we're going to play around with how we could combine these tools to create an interesting pattern. So that's along the lines of kind of what we're heading towards. And so making the popsicle stick designs is the first step of doing that.